Throughout history, few were given the power to control the destiny of their fellow man. Tribal chieftains, a powerful shaper.
Information. The first principle of warfare must form the foundation of all your efforts. Know of course thine enemy, but in knowing him, do not forget above all to know thyself. The commander who embraces this totality of battle shall win, even with the inferior force.
If I determine the enemy's disposition of forces while I have no perceptible form, I can concentrate my forces while the enemy is fragmented. The pinnacle of military deployment approaches the formless. If it is formless, then even the deepest spy cannot discern it, or the wise make plans against it.
Each new frontier has brought new ways and new places to die. Why should the future be different?
Exist to be consumed, and consumed they will be, if not by this generation, then by some future. By what right does this forgotten future seek to deny us our birthright? None, I say. Let us take what's ours.
First triad of victory, for it combines mobility, flexibility, and initiative. Superior training and superior weaponry have, taken together, a geometric effect on overall military strength.
War is war. Destruction is destruction. You think this is obvious, but war is not destruction, it is victory.
We shall take only the greatest minds, the finest soldiers, the most faithful servants. We shall multiply them 1,000-fold and release them to usher in a new era of glory.
That took a bit longer than I thought it would. Apparently, Age of Empires 2 did not want to open initially. Decided to take its time. So, we're all the way on mission 8. So we gotta expect quite a few gimmicks going in. I'm assuming that this is another, like, perhaps another Thracian mission, maybe. Because we've only played them once. And they're actually not bad. You get the skirmishers that could just sink through everything and then passive heals on top of it. Yeah. They might be a menace. Against archers specifically. So, Queen Ada, deposed ruler of Halicarnassus, asked Alexander to help her reclaim her city. Well, let's go ahead and get started then.
Like the kings of Homer's Iliad, vying for glory in the foremost ranks, Macedonian monarchs led from the front, and few with such zeal as Alexander. At the Granicus he plunged into the fray, as a famished wolf darts among a grazing flock, tearing at sheep and shepherd alike. But Alexander ventured too far, and a Persian horseman brought his sword swinging towards the king's neck. But Clytus, lurching forward, sliced the Persian's arm from his shoulder. His first victory over the Mede in hand, and feeling just as invincible as the Pythian priestess had proclaimed him, Alexander marched on. His target was the coastal city of Halicarnassus, its grand harbor ringed by walls flecked with sea foam, where the great warrior queen Artemisia had once ruled. You see, Alexander had a rather unconventional plan to deal with the Persian navy. Rather than build a fleet and fight them at sea, he'd simply use his army to capture the Persian naval bases, one by one. The rightful queen of Halicarnassus was Ada II, a wise and learned woman, and a gracious benefactor of the temple at Delphi. But, deposed by her brother, Ada now languished in exile, until the arrival of Alexander presented her with an opportunity. The exiled queen welcomed Alexander, putting her wealth, her followers, and her considerable knowledge at his disposal. So splendidly did they get along, Ada even adopted Alexander as her own son. The siege of Halicarnassus, then, would be a family affair.
Interesting. Alright, so guess we'll take a look and see what we have to deal with for a map. I wonder if we get his companions. Quite strong.
Halicarnassus, jewel of Ionia, now swarming with Persian rogues and their Greek mercenaries. Return my city to me, Alexander.
It will be so, I swear it. For a siege is no more than a battle of wills. The foe will come upon us with all the ferocity of desperate men. But if we shatter their strongholds, they will abandon the defenses.
Attack upgrade. Let's see. What else we got here? Anti-cavalry infantry, strong versus cavalry in buildings. Prepare for the siege. Build new Macedonian command post.
Tyre. Oikodomeo.
I build one castle so we can build more of our companion cavalry.
They come upon us like ants pouring from a nest.
That first. I think we should be able to heal with these things. If memory
Your
serves correct.
father was a
Been while.
masterful besieger. He knew that no two strongholds are alike. The methods by which you subdue one may not work for another. Just as a huntsman trains one dog by the whistle and another by the stick.
Or just as an adulterous one-eyed king seduces some women with gifts and others with false promises.
Tyre.
Delay. Mine.
Tiestin.
Yeah, at least we have plenty of wood.
Dálmata. Tiestin.
Ne, koran. Aku. Oikodomeo.
No,
Nekoranos.
Tyre.
using the wrong key.
Oikodomeo.
Tiestin. Oikodomeo.
Tiestin. Oikodomeo.
Nekoranos. Oikodomeo.
Oikodomeo.
Teleis. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Nekoranos. Oikodomeo.
Delay. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo.
Teleis. Oikodomeo. Nekoranos. Oikodomeo.
Tiestin. Oikodomeo. Tyre. Oikodomeo. Ne, koran. Oikodomeo.
Tyre. Oikodomeo. Hetor. Oikodomeo.
Let's see, recruitment doctrines, 33% more effective. Alright, we want that. Their unique unit's mostly anti-infantry, so maybe if we go with cavalry instead. Just keep working on that. Sappers, it costs 2,000 wood. Seems like it should be mostly straightforward. Trebuchets, cavalry charge to take out anyone that might attack. That's stay on the defensive side until the towers and the fort are down. How much we need? 700. 800 gold. Access to catapults.
Nekoranos.
Nope, no siege. Alright, so we have to rely on these. So bombard, nearby fort, that's defend, okay. You'll also have to escort ammunition carts to the encampments. So I'm going to want at least 2 groups of units, one to defend and then one to defend munitions, wherever that's supposed to come from. To the encampment. Interesting. Okay, so it almost seems like we want to start over
There is a village nearby,
here.
Alexander. No doubt they despise the Persians' presence as much as I do. Perhaps they'd be willing to help.
Alright, we'll head off on that. I don't know if I need to worry about my back flank at all. Or are everything's just to be in the front? I'm gonna have to build other castles. Big enough. 25 plus 5, and I think it's... I don't think it costs very much to upgrade.
Who are you? Persian? Greek? A Macedonian, you say? Gods give me strength. Whatever. Look, you replace the provisions those lice-ridden mercenaries nicked from us, and we'll make it worth your while.
A shepherd making demands of a king? Philip would not have entertained this.
Perhaps. Okay, need markets. Go up there. I think I'm gonna build a castle over here as well. Not quite sure where would be the spot. Maybe up in the front a little bit, and then one outpost to heal. Also, do we have an cannon?
Is he not a marvel, Ada? I have never seen the like of it. People are drawn to.
Let's see. Village.
Alexander, like thorns to a stream. I prefer you to the Persians already, let me tell you. Here, there's a way to get to one of those forts, an arrow pass, known only to us shepherds. We'll show you.
He is the very image of Achilles, godlike in countenance and a dread hunter in the clash of arms. You must watch over him, Hephaestion.
This looks like it's gonna be something later on. Probably take that one, but I really would like to have the upgrades first. Get those for defense. Did they have a market? Yeah. Might take away from our pop count, but if we can speed up our goal. Build mine there. few options. In fact, you guys go and set up shop over there. Got a bit of stone over there as well.
This was the city of Artemisia, wasn't it? Halicarnassus, home of the warrior queens.
Okay, so we can afford that. Complex over there, just for some extra beefiness to them. These guys have a minimum range. I know, I'll just do that. I don't think there's anything else for us really to get. Just wait for a con to get up so it can replace any units that we lose. And we also need to afford this stuff. Deploy siege ram. Probably break through here. I have 2 towers. Right. So those are exposed. I have no idea what's back over here. Yeah, we don't get access to any of this, so that's not an option either. And I'll build a new command post there once we have some defense. Oops. I'll just forget that for now.
Phoenicians must be fine folk to have raised such a son.
My father was a brute. My mother was a volatile snake charmer. More attentive to asps and vipers than her own brood.
Oh, yes.
Access can come back over here. Upgrades there. How much set prospect house? Oh hey, there's gold here. I keep forgetting that was added in.
Nekoranos. Oikodomeo.
Not gonna exactly be the best unit to use for this, but we built it. Oh, now it's me built it. Not going to be very effective, except for maybe against these chariot guys that keep going back and forth. So here, as soon as they're fully healed up, alright, well, I guess we'll just place them there. Should be good enough. Focus on just this one first. Considering that I can even take my cavalry here. Yep, okay, we're good.
Bears! Not the only den around here, if those half-eaten forages are anything to go by.
Heracles blesses this hunt. Skin the bears and look for more.
At least we brought horse archers with us.
We have the first breach. Saffron-robed Enyo, wall breaker. Your favor grants us victory.
Alright, give him something to do.
Some mercenaries of our own might prove useful here. I have identified some suitable candidates, ferocious as they are unmannered.
Halicarnassus. I know her every street and avenue like the hands and heart of my own body. Every injury done to her I feel in my flesh.
Dig, brave sappers. Though the earth keeps your deeds from sight, know that your king esteems your toil. Would that all the rulers in this world of dust and iron had such passion as you, Ada.
Okay, you guys chill out over there. I don't know where the mercenaries are. No.
The gates are shattered! Now bring down that fort!
Oh. Dromos, Strategos. I forget which one is which. Strategos.
Another fort crumbles. Pallas Athena sees our efforts and she rewards us richly.
I was thinking I still needed to breach the fort. Alright. Everyone to regroup here then.
My royal armorer will provide you with whatever you need.
Deploy bribery.
Arranged. The gates have been opened and the fort sabotaged. Get inside and finish destroying it before our ploy is discovered.
That's it. Look at this group. Get in there. Since they're weak to projectiles, that seems most prudent. Three.
Oh, boy. What will it take to make these men surrender? I shall rule over naught but rubble and rotting corpses.
When I seize the treasuries of Susa, you will have all you need to restore these fine walls.
Bribery, sappers. I think we're going to do sappers because it only requires a little bit of defense.
Sappers! There's as much glory to gain from picks and spades as swords and spears. Smash that fort into splinter timbers and broken bricks.
I think they're still going. If they are, then we just gotta sit here and watch. Yep. They just keep going.
The walls empty. They flee to the harbor, crowding onto ships, bewailing their defeat. Queen Ada, retake your rightful place
This was
as
actually
ruler
not that
of
bad.
this
It's pretty
fine
good.
city.
So long did I pray for this. And then the gods sent you, Alexander. May you always be good to your friends, no matter how mighty you become.
Oh, I guess I could have hunted down more bears. Might not have been worth it, though. Maybe. $352 killed. So we went from a hard landing to easy siege. It's kind of weird.
Breaching Halicarnassus was a tremendous feat, as had been the victory at the Granicus, not to mention the slew of cities throughout Asia Minor that had surrendered without a fight. Yet, the victory Alexander truly craved remained elusive. He set off once more, seeking a confrontation with the Persian king Darius III, named after the very monarch who had launched the first Persian invasion of Greece. Along the way, Alexander came upon the town of Gordion. Here, there was an ancient cart tied to a post by the most fiendishly intricate knot, a tangled mass of ancient cords twisting, snaking, weaving, slipping over and under and around a knot with no visible beginning or end. Not a very interesting attraction, you might think, but it was said that whoever could undo the knot would rule the world. Alexander examined the knot, paused for thought. Then with a single stroke of his sword, simply sliced it in two. From there, Alexander proceeded south, until he reached Cilicia. He began to feel a frightful heat rising in his breast. Then he broke into a wild sweat, frothing like a raging stallion. He flung himself into the icy cold waters of the river Kidnus, but emerged racked with cramps and fever. All of the king's physicians feared to administer a remedy. What dreadful tortures would await them if they failed, or worsened the king's condition? Only one, Philip of Acarnania, was willing to produce a cure. But as Alexander was about to raise the potion to his lips, a messenger passed him a letter from Parmenion, claiming that the Persian king had paid the doctor to poison him. Alexander looked the physician straight in the eye and downed the cup in one go. At first, the king fell back, his breath lost, swooning into near unconsciousness. But then, as Philip attended to him, Alexander regained his senses and felt the cure work its way through his body. A period of rest was clearly in order. Alexander and his men, welcomed into the cities of Lower Cilicia, at last paused their relentless march.
So maybe a defense mission then?
Finally, the king is forced to take some rest. His body, it seems, cannot quite keep up with his ambitions. Now, using these most welcoming cities for our base, we should gather some supplies.
The scouts have surveyed the area. The coast is rich in fish and oysters. Sturdy oak trees and lovely fat boars up in the foothills of Mount Amanus.
Oh yeah, that's right, I have 2 different ones.
Ah, by warm-hearted Hestia, it's good to be back in a proper city. I sat in a saddle so long, my knees feel like rotten timbers.
Prostagmata, oikodomeo.
So probably have pirates or something with like. They do have a market. Okay.
Τι δε λέεις?
We can't build one.
Oikodomeo.
Prostagmata? Oikodomeo.
Tyre. Oikodomeo.
Hetmanos. Oikodomeo.
Alright, we've got our farms up and going. We need to gather tons and tons of resources. No. Here.
Tyre. Oikodomeo.
Nekoranos. Oikodomeo. 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 Hetor. Oikodomeo.
Do we really need anything else? Hoplites?
Those wild-eyed savages who live up in the hills aren't too pleased to see us. We'll have to protect the foragers.
Oh, so now I can go to light cavalry.
Greetings all. I heard that my naval expertise might finally be required.
Ahoy, Admiral Niarchos! How are things back in your native Crete? Dealt with that Minotaur yet,
Very droll, Perdiccas. Never mind Minotaurs, the seas round here are infested with pirates. Our fishing ships will need to be guarded.
Have regular bowmen. Interesting.
Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Fulodomeo.
Annoying, but it's a good one.
Fascinating fauna in this region, you know. Earlier, I sketched a bearded vulture. They actually disdain meat and live off bones. They drop them from great heights, smash them open, so they can suck out the marrow.
Ah, I forgot you were a naturalist as well as a sailor. It's like being lectured by Aristotle all over again, eh, Hephaestion?
Also need stone. Yeah.
Diestin. Chetoime. Oikodomeo.
Alright then. I guess there's a little bit of stone over there. We'd have to take care of everything here, though.
Not all the mountain dwellers are stupid enough to fight us. Got some nasty-looking axemen here who want employment. Should they bring their horses, or no?
Yeah, let's take the axe cavalry. We have plenty of infantry right now. Time versus cavalry. That's fine. What do we have? These are all axe cavalry? Alright.
Nekoranos. Oikodomeo. 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 Fulodomeo.
Yeah, figures. They're gonna be especially annoying. Alright. We're a little under halfway there already. Get up close with that hole. Upgrade to light cavalry. Make it a little bit annoying. I'll go from Byran to Tyre. houses.
Tyre. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Fulodomeo.
That's it. Focus on the wall.
Oikodomeo.
Right, fine.
As menos. Akuo. Ergomai. Prostagmata. Oikodomeo. 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 Hulotomeo.
Ne, guarda, Fulodomeo.
Yeah, I guess we got that just for the extra movement. Making sure they're actually doing what they're supposed to be.
Tyre.
Tyre. Kibele. Neto dia. Oikodomeo.
But there. Probably like a port down there.
Hetwanis. Fulodomeo.
Okay, so not entirely wrong.
Delete. Fulodomeo.
Tyre. Prostagmata. Otomeo.
Not sure why they're getting stuck up on that, but okay.
Prostagmata.
Yes.
That's it. Focus on that. Okay, since we know they're always coming from over there.
Tyre. Oikodomeo. 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 Fulodomeo.
Tyre. Fulodomeo. Fulodomeo. Fulodomeo.
Is that closer we can get without getting shot at? I don't know why you guys keep stuck.
My fever subsides. Fetch frankincense and make offerings to Asclepios.
How good to see you well, King Alexander. We were all terribly worried. On the defense for once. Just got away with some cheap stuff. Let me see how much more we can pump out. Don't want to learn, do I?
The Silesians have ceased their attacks. They scurry in terror. From what?
Darius is upon us! At last, the strings of fate draw us together. Fight me, King of Kings, and let undying glory be the victor's prize.
Glory? Do you think us duelists in a poem or a fable? I am Lord of Asia, blessed of Ahura Mazda, and I am here to evict a bandit from my realm. Feel the ground shiver. See the blinding flash of steel and gold. The fire of Ahura Mazda I send upon you, Daivas. Your wickedness will shrivel in his blistering light.
Hold, men! Fear nothing but disgrace!
Okay, so there's some ways you can absolutely cheese this if you really wanted to.
Those
Sure.
mountain dwellers harried us like snapping hounds. Make them bend to us, and we can turn their viciousness against the Persians.
Alright. There to recoup. Get stone while we can. Maybe one of those annoying maps. Alright. Already opened that up. Already opened.
Gold is the sole desire of those pirates. They care not how they acquire it. We could pay them off. Better to part with coin than more brave sailors.
It's actually something I might actually do. Mostly so I don't have to throw a bunch of naval assets in. Slay Darius, destroy all his town centers. Should be...
My seers have sifted through sheep's entrails and beheld the flight of circling birds. Their omens speak ill of your future, Darius.
Disregard your wine-addled soothsayers. I have had Magi observe the movements of ants and beetles, examine the ripples of raindrops in sacred vessels, divine the stars above. All portend that no Macedonian will slay me.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna stake our entire future on. Beetles. Rush the gate. Okay, I only need to destroy these two, so that's fine.
Scary bunch, these Silesians. Darius is going to have his hands full.
Cool. Cool, cool. Okay, we'll probably keep pumping out the light cavalry until I can get to the point where I can actually get out a couple of castles. Yeah, more food.
Fate has led me here, Darius. And as mighty Troy fell to the bronze-greaved Achaeans, so your empire will succumb to greater men.
You forget, boy. Not one of those bronze-greaved Achaeans enjoyed a happy homecoming.
Ah. Man. Like right there, I need just 5 more. No, except for you guys. I'm gonna save you for later.
Χέτοιμο. Οικοδομαίο. Προστάγματα. Οικοδομαίο. 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 Έργο.
It doesn't look like there's any other way to flank. You have to do a frontal assault. But if you were able to amass a large enough army and just like base build down here for a bit, you could probably choose this mission. Yep, still no market or anything.
Already I have overcome your satraps, banished your armies, conquered your cities. Onward I shall march. Susa, Persepolis, Pasargadae will be mine. I shall drink from the Euphrates and hunt in the gardens of Babylon.
And what will you do, Alexander, when there is no one left to conquer?
I guess, enjoy life. Unfortunately, that's not how it ends, but... Okay, so they got some damage on the wall. Not a whole lot. Some. I'll probably eventually be able to build like a forward base here and just keep replenishing troops out. And make use of them. But I don't know how best to do that. Maybe just rally them all in against the town center if it gets ramps up. Is there anything that we're really lacking? Not really. Use them to defend, a couple of rams.
Yourself a lion, but you are a vulture. You despoil my cities. You choke my rivers with putrid corpses. You murder men by the thousand and strip them while they bleed.
You forget, Darius, your ancestors did all these things and more to the Greeks. And now, the wrath of the gods is come.
Awesome. That's right, don't mind us. We're just gonna come over here and attack the villagers. We're gonna lose all the cavalry, but that's fine. It's just like cavalry. You guys over here. Is there even any gold to mine on the map? I want to say no. It looks like it's just all stone. There's nowhere to trade it either. You guys actually harvesting? Okay. Okay. Whoops. Alright.
The basest of men are the easiest to turn.
Since we no longer have need of the warships, we ought to scuttle them. The iron and timber will be better used for our land forces.
Yep. That was my thoughts exactly. I'm just going to use this to scout to see where they are. Okay. So, by the looks of things, it looks like we would take a couple of transports, land here, destroy all of those ports. I don't know if they have any ports over here. I would assume yes, but... Wow. Our two little unupgraded rams actually destroyed the castle and lived. I was expecting some kind of retaliation, but I guess he just hasn't the forces. Okay, and then there was
I did
one
not
port
come here without cause, Darius. Persian gold has stoked every war in Greece for years, and I know of your bribes to the Thracians, your constant letters urging the Greeks to rebellion. Some say you even paid for my father's death.
Okay, so we would land after we... So we need like one or two, maybe catapult triremes. Destroy this. Well, maybe not so much that. Land, destroy the ports, destroy the town center, all that. Land here, destroy the ports, and then we don't have to pay. But just another option we could go.
Prostagmata? As menos.
Why are I stuck? I kind of don't think he has the forces. here. Castle there, probably one castle down here. So I gotta break through the walls over here. Cavalry archers and companions. I don't think there's really much need for anything else. Infantry foot archers, which I think is the same thing for this. Actually, you know what? There is one other thing we can do. Some axe riders.
Fideles, bind. Acu. Las menos. Oikodomeo. 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 Oikodomeo.
Healing on. One castle there. Possibly one unit. Unlikely. Possible. kind of funny when community loot them just a little bit. I like getting stuck. I don't know why. Okay, don't really care about that now. guess we'll go and destroy that castle just for the heck of
it. I have millions more, child. Uxians, Cadusians, Aracosians, men who seek battle as a hunting dog relishes the bloody chase. And here, my chariots adorned with ivory and amber and flesh-tearing steel.
Darius! Darius, coward! Face me and prove your worth, you slinking jackal!
I have no need to throw away my kingdom in a single duel.
Wait,
a
that was
defeat
him?
for you means ruin, but I have millions more awaiting my summons.
Until there aren't.
Those foul corsairs will despoil our fleets no longer.
I didn't realize they had moved in. Otherwise I could have probably sniped him. Maybe. Unless they made him like invincible or something. Alright, let's see. How are we doing on time? Alright, I'm gonna go and take a quick power break, and then we'll continue on to the next mission. Hopefully it's not too long. I'm about to get 4 missions out before the end of the night. Yeah, be back in just a few. Alrighty then. Hopefully this isn't a terribly long mission.
So confident was Darius that he would triumph at Issus, he had brought his mother, wife, and daughters to the battle. So hastily did he flee, they were left behind for Alexander to capture. Like the women of Troy, powerless before their captors, Darius' family wept and lamented, imagining that their lot would now be misery and servitude. But Alexander treated them with perfect respect, and allowed them every comfort to which they were accustomed. Alexander proceeded along the coast, until he came to Tyre, that great city of the Phoenicians, set upon an offshore island as though the whole marvelous edifice floated on the sea. Alexander demanded entry to Tyre, wishing to sacrifice at the temple of Melkart. The Tyrians refused, and when Alexander sent messengers a second time, they were hurled into the sea from the city walls. An outrageous thing to do. But the Tyrians, their grand fortifications protected by the waves that lapped up against them, held the entirely reasonable expectation that Alexander would give up and move on. Alexander rarely did what you and I might consider reasonable. And so, work began on a vast causeway, a bridge of earth and rubble between Tyre and the mainland. The world reshaped at Alexander's command.
Imagine if he actually just like sacrificed and pieced out. It's like, cool, sacrifice done. Moving on.
Seize the old town, where the craven Tyrians used to dwell before they slunk off to their island. Then we shall begin work on our causeway, and bring just retribution to those who would slay diplomats and emissaries.
This is madness, Alexander. Tyre is nearly 4 stades from the mainland. Surely it is not worth the time, the effort, the lives that will be lost.
I have been wronged, Parmenion. Insulted, disregarded. No doubt a coward like you would let these Phoenicians bash down your door, spit in your hearth, kick your dog, and sleep in your bed. But I shall not stand for their abuse.
Okay. I'll wait for the archers to come back. Oh, good. We did.
This will be our base.
Nice.
Engineers, begin your work. Any man who distinguishes himself will receive a purse of gold from my own hand.
I think that went rather well.
Tibeles. Ναι, Κοράνος. Τι δεν λες?
Okay, so we'll probably have to defend this. The question is it going to be more land-based defense or naval? Probably naval. I'll put out one scout. Just skirmishers, just skirmishers. Alright. I want to build one here, and I'll probably build another one over here around our farmlands. Maybe down towards, like, right here, I think. Just in case to try and do some landings or something, but they're probably, like, fully actually divided. Can't just march an army across. Kind of undo the entire point of building the bridge.
Right, you lot. Stones into the water, then drive stakes into the mud to keep them stable. Then you put the timbers on top. It won't look pretty, but it'll hold. That Tyrian navy is powerful. We don't have the materials or the knowledge to build anything that can rival them.
I have sent for Niarchos. He will soon come with a fleet and expert shipwrights to construct the vessels we need.
Okay. I'll just go and build an initial defense thing. Guess we have lots of land-based gold. We are gonna get
Tyrians
caught
are
up.
upon us!
That part's gonna suck just a bit.
Let them come. I'm sure they'll want to admire our work.
Your father knew when a fight was worth taking and when it was folly. Why must you indulge your every impulse?
I will not have limits put on my ambitions by the likes of you, Armenion.
No, the gods will do that.
Okay. And for safety, we're gonna build one here. They're gonna need more woodcutters. That. Get a few archers out.
To arms! The landing troops on the shore!
Sure. Kind of pertinent to know.
Last night I dreamt, Hephaestion, that Heracles himself escorted me into the city.
Portent of our success, to be sure. Even if, like Heracles, we must undergo many labors.
Okay, I'm gonna build one over here. Maybe a little bit further out.
Prostagmata. Oikodomeo.
Tideleis, oikodomeo, chetoimos, oikodomeo. Tyre, oikodomeo, tideleis. Oikodomeo, ne koranos. Oikodomeo.
I'm sick of being pelted with bolts and arrows from those Tyrian ships. I tell you what we need. A Helepolis. A big old siege tower with a ballista inside. That'll put some fear in them.
Parmenion, you may lack the stomach for our grand endeavors, but you can at least deal with these irksome landing parties.
Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Metalluo.
What the? Look at this! I cracked open this loaf of bread and it's bleeding. Every loaf out of that oven, bloody as a raw steak. I'm no soothsayer, but that's a bad omen.
No, this is wonderful. Don't you see? The bread bleeds from inside. It is the city. It is Tyre that will bleed.
Do they mean it's just like raw? Thanks for placing there for now.
Fine progress. Not as futile a plan as you thought, Parmenion.
Why do you so delight in defying good sense? Do you think your father achieved greatness by following every mad desire that entered his head? No. It was through careful consideration and the advice of experienced men that he built the kingdom which you insist on throwing into peril.
But I couldn't build more. Can I? Nope. I'm gonna go melt down.
Their resistance is unceasing. Is this one city truly worth so many lives?
To avenge an insult, yes. And in any case, capturing Tyre will incapacitate the Persian navy, thus precluding any counter-invasion of Greece. So you see my plans are not as frivolous as you allege.
Alright. And that should set things up. Okay, cool. We can just set these guys over here. Don't have to worry about too much else. I think. This will put us back where we were for food production.
Oikodomeo.
Chetronos. Oikodomeo. Prostagmata. Oikodomeo. Tyre. Oikodomeo.
Prostagmatas. Oikodomeo. 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 Tiestin. Oikodomeo.
Parthian tactics. Okay. Maybe a few more. Okay. So I guess they can land there. That would be nice to know.
Where is Niarchos with that fleet? Probably off sketching some hideous lizard or taking clippings from a plant that eats chicken.
Oikodomeo.
Prostagmata. Oikodomeo. Nekora. Oikodomeo. Tibeles. Metalluo. Tyre. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo.
Furl up the sails! The fleet stands ready, Alexander, and we have timber and pitch to build further vessels.
Glad to hear it, Admiral. We should begin construction immediately.
Prostagmata. Tyre.
Ah, here they are. You remember those pirates we paid off in Silesia? I offered them some work.
You expect my sailors to toil alongside buccaneers and ruffians? This is most improper.
I mean, you can use them as cannon fodder. So. It's always a possibility.
Tibeles. Oikodomeo. Tyre.
Tibeles. Oikodomeo.
I've met all sorts on the islands of the Aegean, philosophers, pentathletes, and plenty of talented marksmen seeking adventure. I could send for some.
Go for the archer or the slinger? You know what? Slinger.
Tyre.
like artillery fire to make you concentrate on your work, eh? Keep it up, engineers!
Okay, can we afford that? We can.
Prostagmata.
Thank goodness.
Oikodomeo. 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 Metalluo.
If we do end up using more infantry or something, it'd be nice to have. Anti-infantry that cannot attack at close range requires only half population space. Huh. Interesting. Just gonna go get that.
Violent southwesterlies blow round these parts. That's why the waters around Tyre are so rough, you see.
Wind I can handle. I'm more concerned with all the Phoenicians trying to kill me.
Set full pop. Yeah, that's fine.
Nekoranos. Oikodomeo. Metalluo.
There. Got another one there, just for safety, and then we should be pretty well set.
Oikodomeo. Metaleo.
Prostagmata.
Oikodomeo.
Tiestin. Oikodomeo. Geo.
Just need a few more upgrades.
The moment this causeway reaches Tyre, I want every man ready to break into the city. We have overcome the larger part of the danger. Prepare now to sink your teeth into the fruit of your labors.
Easy going from here. Those walls are only, what, 100 cubits high, perhaps?
Tyre. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Kulodomeo.
got 2 walls, and then who knows how much more. I do see a couple of ports over there. And there's probably a couple of ports over here.
Causeway is complete. Look at those grey faces on the battlements. Not so brave without the sea to guard you, eh?
Break down those gates! Then we press on to the palace and claim this city.
Get a couple of upgrades while we can. Go for gold. And I'll probably build some towers throughout the house. Hill market? No, it's not. Okay, I can move him over. So surely they have some castles. Looks like a barracks, but it could. I suppose it could be. Yeah, I guess he has some. There's some up there. Not that we should really need it.
Temple of Melkart, which you were so insolently barred, lies open to you now. Go, Alexander. Gain the blessings of your ancestor Heracles.
Hermes, protector of heralds. Zeus, Xenios, punisher of wrongs. I feel you at my back as I tear through these sin-soaked boulevards. Bear me on with righteous fury. Lion-skinned Heracles, slayer of giants, you who sacked the hallowed heights of Troy even before Achilles and Odysseus, I offer you these libations, finely pressed olive oil and honeyed wine.
city is ours, Alexander.
So we sacked the Royal Palace, that should be everything.
The siege was a trying one. They want vengeance for our murdered emissaries.
Exactly.
And so Tyre fell. Then 84. This was actually like on the easier side. I don't know why. Like 2 of the missions that we had were just a little bit more on the rough side. I think just because of the gimmicks mostly. This gimmick wasn't too bad. Defend the builders. Technically you have infinite, so you can just get everything ready prior to that. That's certainly a much easier now. At least it feels like it. I kind of want to go longer, but for whatever reason, like today specifically, I don't know, I just feel sore like everywhere for some odd reason. I mean, I've been doing a few workouts here and there, but nothing that should have resulted in like this. And I just keep popping everything back into place far more frequently, so... that, and I think I got a few things I gotta do tomorrow a little bit earlier before I head off. For my work days and all that, so... I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it there on a relatively good note. But tonight was certainly a bit easier. And we got like one more week we can probably squeeze in. There's a small chance I might try and do like a bonus day, but no promises. And if I do, it'll probably be this. And I don't know. We might take a break from Fallout New Vegas and do our challenge run in March. The March into Doom, I think, is what we'll probably end up doing. It's going to be 1v7, all 86 characters on Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I also need to get a bit more practice in. I've been getting a little bit of practice here and there, but I honestly have not touched the game perhaps as frequently as I should for the challenge. We did do it once. We will be doing a death counter. I'm going to try and keep the deaths as low as possible. Keep in mind, I do not consider myself to be a good player, just on the casual side. And, I don't know, see if I still have some touches, because I don't think they've had any updates, right? I think we already went through the whole debacle of final update and all that. So, with Sora being released, I don't think there's anything after that. And we will be doing them in order, or at least in order of what mine is when it comes to like the easy stuff, so. And yeah, we are doing Echo Fighters. So we'll probably be able to get like what? So we got like 3 weeks in total, and then we go right into March, which will give us 4 weeks. Right? Yeah. We got a full 4 weeks in March. And that one will probably require some additional days. So we might get some bonus streams in March, depending on how things go and mostly how I feel and all that. But I think, regardless, we'll probably do the challenge run on Wednesday, picking up the Fallout slot. And then Thursday we'll keep it on something like this, where it's a bit more on the casual side. Give us a buffer. So, that's what I'm thinking of anyway. I think I have most things set up. I'm still trying to think of perhaps better ways to implement some of my ideas for a live stream. And, yeah, at the very least, be good practice for perhaps other events I might try and do. I don't know. But I put a bit more work into this, and I just kind of wanted to get at least a couple of the things I really, really wanted to be a little bit more smoothed out than what they were before. Like, I had a rough idea, and it probably would have worked for that, but I wanted to add more to it. And try and do a twist of myself into it, I guess. I don't know. I guess I just think it would feel better if I did, like, a few things on my own for it, rather than here's generic picture 1 or something like that. I don't know. But so far things are looking relatively good. We're mostly caught up on all the VODs on YouTube, mostly because of all the days off and everything. I have been making sure that VODs have been getting pumped out for that. So I guess I could probably start throwing some extra spare time, maybe towards doing actual full-on edits instead of just editing VOD and cutting out like the intermission and stuff. But I wouldn't expect anything anytime soon. But I have some ideas. It's just a matter of whether or not I have the time, energy, and even more, perhaps skill to put things together the way I'd like. But regardless, I didn't see anyone else streaming earlier, so I guess we'll go ahead and call it there. Should be back next week, unless we have some kind of weird power outage or whatever. Winter's been relatively mild. Haven't had too many issues. That's been good. Yesterday was a little bit weird and wonky, and I should probably still do, just a note to myself, I should probably go and do one last check to make sure everything is attached, because I'm fairly certain I missed a follow, and I don't think it was entirely my fault. I didn't hear any audio cue like I was supposed to, but I'm going to go and review that VOD. That should actually be the next one I be working on anyway. So, but anyway, stay healthy, stay frosty, and until next time, see you.